Hi, for being absolutely beautiful every time. It's your host, Sweet Venus, on the Mothership. So, if you've been trying to fix your emotions for a very, 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 very long time, this video is especially for you. Because I know I've been in the cycle for a long time. I grew up in a very emotionally unstable household. So, I was constantly in tune with other people's emotions. And when I grew into my teen years, of course, like with the hormones going everywhere, I was very um, overwhelmed and oversensitive to other people's emotions because I didn't know what to do with my emotions. So I decided to shut down my heart. And when I shut down my heart, literally, I saw because my psychic gift is here. So I saw it was like a charred heart. There was no life in it. There was no, the emotions weren't flowing. I literally stopped feeling. And what happened then was that everybody who was feeling, everyone who was in tune with their emotions, everybody who was alive, um, I felt disconnected from them. I felt like they had something that I really, really, really wanted and I couldn't have. And I was like, man, I was so miserable to the point where I was so miserable and I was so upset. All my pictures, when I look at them, I'm just like, mean mugging. I'm sorry, right? It was because there was this angst of emotions that wanted to flow. I wanted to be alive, but I didn't know how to, without sacrificing my sense of safety. So I created this persona to protect myself because my parents weren't emotionally intelligent. I definitely didn't know how to self-regulate either. I didn't know how to properly express my emotions in a way that way I felt seen, heard. And when I did, they weren't seen or heard. So that was my biggest wound right there that prevented me from trusting other people. I mean, imagine when you've been in the household, that's what you've been taught about the world, and you go into the world, you protect your inner child. And that created a whole bunch of problems for me because as humans, we're here to feel. We're sentient beings. We're here to feel. And society is trying to create a psychopaths out of us to not care, to not feel, to just bye 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 bye, right? To just do so we don't feel, so we are not with ourselves. And when you're resisting that negative emotions, that pendulum, because the emotions, we're here to feel all the spectrum of emotions. You often hear me say this because it's important to know what you're feeling is not wrong. Where you're at is not wrong. It's how you choose to respond to where you're at, how you're feeling, what you're perceiving, how you choose to respond. And how you choose to respond is all a matter of what do you have access to. And if you're basing your future on what you've been taught, your past, you're constricting, you're limiting yourself. Yes, what you've been given, the limits that you've been given by your past negative situations, by your parents' past negative situation, they conditioned into you. It limits you to a certain degree, but you got to realize that the world is expansive, the universe is expansive. You just got to come within yourself and say, hey, I need this, I need more of this. And the universe is always listening, right? It's always listening because you're the one who's in charge of your life. You're the one who's leading the energy within you towards wherever you're going. So when your emotions are stuck, are frozen in time, you're going to repeat the same theme of stories to reflect all these emotions that you're not passing through your body. You're just like, right, resisting like this. You're just like this. So you want to actually release it. You want to ease yourself so that the energy flows freely. Um, and you can feel those negative emotions, but not making them wrong, just feeling that discomfort and allowing the discomfort to transform you. But here's the catch: you want the transformation. You can't really transform into your dream self if you don't have clarity on who your dream self is, right? So um your dream self is going to feel the same emotions, the same emotions you're feeling, the same negative emotions you're feeling. But the only reason she or he is your dream self is because they perceive you differently, they perceive life differently, they perceive differently. So other people perceive you the way you perceive yourself. You gotta hold that North Star of who you are. And of course, yeah, other people outside looking in might see a different story, but that's another layer. But the core of it, the core of it, who do you perceive yourself to be? Those emotions are always communicating to you. They're always telling you something. So when you haven't been taught um, to really to create a safe space for your emotions, and you see like, oh, I'm so oversensitive and I don't know what to do with it, and you close it off, you're closing off like the most powerful technology you have to quantum leap, to transcend, to connect, to multiply your wealth. Because we are all sentient beings and we all want to feel alive. That's why people do crazy things like um, rock climbing or going on a motorbike. It's that thrill, that excitement. But that thrill and excitement comes from really facing those parts of yourself you're afraid to face. Those parts of you, like when they come, when you sit still and they come and they like pick up, you're like, oh, I gotta, nope, nope, right? You put on that mask going into the world, like, oh yeah, everything is perfect. You're drinking, you're doing your thing, right? Because you don't want to feel, you don't want to really experience what's within. But it's gonna keep the same cycle. So you want to know, you want to pay attention to when do you absorb other people's energies? When do they amplify? When do they trigger within you? What happens that triggers you to feel these negative emotions? What is it reminding you of? Because when this happens, you want to zone in and create a safe space. Say, hey, I'm safe. Is there someone who wants to attack me? Is there someone who's coming after my life? Okay, I'm safe. Okay. You come into your five senses, you look around you, okay, you look behind you, you feel with your body, with your fingers to the bottom of your feet. If you're sitting with your behind, with your derriere, you're filling it up, right? You taste, you can feel the saliva going through your throat, you can feel your heartbeat. What other senses? You can fill up the blank, right? So this will help you to really be present because presence is key. Presence is the door out of this mental prison, out of this hell. And the key to this freedom is emotional sovereignty, is to know how to transcend your negative emotions by not being controlled by them, but by honoring the flows, the ebbs and flows of these negative emotions. Because these ebbs and flows are where the wisdom lies. That will help you catch up to your dream self. Because there's one way to do it. The one that's really popular right now in society is um, performing, faking your way to it, right? So you can see like when you become still within yourself, once you become so comfortable with your energy, you can just tell people who are not comfortable with themselves, people who are performing, who are overcompensating for something. You can tell from a mile away. Like, yep, yeah, this person is more connected to the ego. They don't really have that depth. They're shallow. So I can't even have a conversation, a deep conversation with them because they haven't met themselves that far. And all the answers are in your stillness. So I don't know how to create emotional boundaries. Emotional boundaries begin here, right here, in that stillness, in that being uncomfortable, being okay with being uncomfortable, and allowing how you're feeling right now to inspire the next loving act towards yourself. Loving is the key right there, because you've been acting in unloving ways, and that's why you're here. So you want to act differently. You want to be loving towards yourself. All these people you're looking for in being in unfulfilling relationships, being in toxic friendships, they're not making you feel loved, are they? I doubt it. So you really want to be honest with yourself. Love those parts that are not loving towards you. Unconditional love. And once you start doing this, you create emotional stability within yourself. So the theme of unhappiness, of misery, is feeling helpless with your shadows, feeling helpless with what's within yourself. And that powerlessness is not wrong, right? Because yes, everybody wants to feel powerful, everyone wants to feel like invincible. But remember, you're having a human experience. So these feelings are going to happen no matter what. So you want to create a safety, a place of where you can always come back to yourself and say, hey, yeah, I feel inferior, I feel not good enough, I feel like the whole truth, where you can just come within yourself and see your humanness and not make it wrong. Because this is where the transformation happens. Once you hold safety within yourself, it's impossible for the world to hold that same space for you. Those people who don't make you feel that sense of emotional safety, they fall off. Even if they try to stay in your world, they can't, because you're resonating differently. This is physics. This is the law of creation, the laws of the 12 laws um, of nature, of life. It's physics. I forgot the full thing, but it's the principles of creation, the principles of life. You got to resonate what you want. You attract who you are. So when you're not feeling seen and heard and understood and happy, really sit with it and feel, and let that lead you to the next loving action. Let your internal guidance system show you the way, instead of like detach, feel, detach, watch, detach, feel, detach. Be still, feel the discomfort, experience, perceive the discomfort, connect to your body, your five senses, and intuitively do the next loving thing that pours into you, that pours into your soul, right? And you'll find that you attract information you wouldn't have gained access if you were just doing, distracting yourself. You see things start shifting because you're pulling in your energy back to you, to your center. You're not giving energy like this, you're pulling it in. So my solution, I want to invite you to the happiness formula. I just designed this. It just came in today. I was like, woo, I gotta go share the happiness formula, which will help you find your unique path to emotional sovereignty, because it's all about being sovereign with your emotions, not allowing your emotions to control you, but you channeling them for your dream self. Because who you are is perfect, where you are is perfect. But it's the ego, it's the conditioning that makes who you are right now wrong, that is perceiving who you currently are as something that can be accepted, something that can be um, liked and loved. You're loving yourself conditionally, which is the mistake. If you love yourself conditionally, who's going to love you unconditionally? You see? You got to go first. You got to go first. So, yeah, so the happiness formula is a 4-week program. I'm going to be doing it on Telegram, and I have a waiting list. You can email me. You can find the information below this video, and we'll be diving into how to create your own happiness formula, because everybody has their own formula, because we have our own beliefs, we have our own assumptions, we have our own perceptions, we have our own conditioning. So you want to tailor it to your own programming. And yeah, this will help you to become sovereign, to become more comfortable in your God-given throne. We all have God-given thrones, but not everybody is living from it. Other people are worshiping and pedestaling others who are in their own God-given throne. But I'm only communicating to you because it's now your time to sit in your God-given throne. And this is my invitation to you to come within and sit alongside me and others. And it's been a long time coming. So I'm excited. So you can find more information about the happiness formula below. You can email me and we can put you on the waiting list. Otherwise, see you on the other side.